SexyHackers.com.
Once upon a time, there were a few young girls with a passion for literature, a love of the written word, an inspired infatuation of... Okay, fine. We were a bunch of super dorks with no friends. We spent all day hiding out in our rooms, reading books that were maybe a little inappropriate.
Hello and welcome to Who Let Me Read This, the podcast where a group of us folks get together and discuss the often inappropriate, mostly terribly written, sometimes should have been burned books of our young adult lives. And as we revisit them as adults, look back and see how it's colored our view on the world and how much money we've spent on therapy over the years. Or maybe not enough.
I was just about to say, not enough.
Not enough. Should have started sooner. No, it's good things. So awesome. And welcome, everyone. Today we are reviewing The Evil Twin from the Sweet Valley High series, the 100th book in the series. Yay. Yes. And with us today, we have Miss Michelle White.
Hello.
Miss Hanna Wallisch, our special guest star today.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us all the way from Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And making time on a Saturday.
Yes.
From your family life and other things.
I think your kids are trick-or-treating today, aren't they?
They are.
Are they?
Actually, they're not because it's holiday time.
Because it's holiday
That's
time.
all right. We record
these ahead of time. Whatever. I just
everyone
really
can
want to
know
know what your children are dressed as for
what
Halloween.
are they dressed as?
My 5-year-old is Marshall from Paw Patrol.
Oh, I'm guessing that's
And
cute.
The 1-year-old is a butterfly, but it's a warm butterfly suit, so she's got this thick butterfly look.
Oh, that probably just seems comfortable. That's like pajamas with wings.
I would wear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would wear it for sure.
Down for that. And next to her, the evil twin, Sarah Wallisch. Hello.
I didn't choose the evil twin life. It chose me. Somebody had to do it.
In utero. Oh,
Yeah.
I picture you guys duking it out, in embryo, oh.
I mean, I did come out hand first. She was born, and then I came out hand first. Just giving her one more shove on the way out.
Like a reverse fisting.
They had to they had to push me back in and turn me around.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry, Mom.
Oh, man.
I can't imagine that was comfortable, but
Nope.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when there's two in there, one of them will be in the right position, and then the other one just kind of takes up whatever space is left.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
You don't learn about this stuff when you're a singular, I guess. What we're called. I mean,
When they talk about Jessica and Elizabeth were born 4 minutes apart, the Wakefield twins, which is usual. 2 to 4 minutes is pretty average.
Okay.
We're 10 minutes because
you're stubborn.
They had to.
Twist you around, when they tell you to rotate your casserole in the oven so that it
Yeah.
bakes evenly. Hold on, we got to get her other side. She's not cooked yet.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, shenanigans. So the last couple weeks, actually, if you haven't been listening, again, shame. Just go back right now. We'll just wait. We'll just hang on while you go back and listen to those. Yeah, we'll be here. All right, welcome back. Cool, you're all caught up. So we were diving into the Evil Twin 6-book mini series. This is the 6th book in the series, so a whole lot of shenanigans went on. But the basic premise is that the Wakefield twins, Elizabeth and Jessica, who are featured in the series, are currently estranged because Jessica's a piece of shit. Just gonna make that statement. She's spiked Liz's punch at the jungle prom. She made her drive drunk and crash the car, killing Jessica's boyfriend, Sam. And then she got Elizabeth arrested for manslaughter, which she was just conveniently acquitted. Super easy kind of things. And then their parents have just conveniently left town right after their evil doppelganger Margo arrives with a plot to murder and replace Elizabeth with herself, because apparently they look so much alike. That's fine. Sure. And then Margo paid drunk dirt bike rider James, who was just around town, just hanging out in town. Sure.
He probably was there for the dirt bike memorial.
That's right.
Skate for love.
Skate for love. Bike for love.
Yeah. So Margo has paid James to date Jessica and spy on the twins and get all the information so she can learn to take her place. But instead he fell in love with Jessica. So Margo murdered him. Oopsies.
Like you do.
Sure. Totally normal. However, Police Academy student Josh Smith, also older brother of the kid that Margo killed earlier.
Yeah.
She's got a lot going on. Margo kind of deserves her own books.
Her like response to everything is like, I'll just murder him.
Yep. Just murder.
Just kill him. It's fine.
To be fair, it's been going really well so far.
It's been working.
Like, why switch it up? So Josh is trying to like track Margo down and right the wrongs for Georgie, his little brother. And then he ends up getting blamed for the murder of drunk dirt biker James. I don't know why I need to put that in front of his time every time, but and Josh is the only one who really knows the truth about Margo. And then Margo's been impersonating both Jessica and Elizabeth all willy-nilly, and both twins have really creepy dreams about it. Oh, and Jessica's best friend is throwing a Miss Lila Fowler, who I love. I kind of love Lila. She's throwing a huge New Year's Eve party gala ball because she's fancy and rich. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Lila is like rich and shallow, but she's like very honest about who she is.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, she goes through some shit in the series, so I always am kind of team Lila.
Doesn't she get like breast cancer for like a second and then we never talk about it again?
Lila, yeah. Like in one of the books, she like finds a lump and it's cancer, and then like, just kidding, everything's fine. Never talk about it again.
Right. That's not how cancer works. But
Someone else does die of cancer in the series, but
sure.
Her
cancer is like plot point cancer, not
soap
like
opera writing's really coming out in the
Yeah, Francine. Fair enough.
brain tumor.
All those just popping out.
convenient tumor.
Does anyone get possessed?
There's probably a coma somewhere. I don't think anyone gets possessed. I think someone does get like conveniently paralyzed for like half a book, and then they're okay again.
Conveniently
Looking at you,
paralyzed.
Glee.
Nice. Boop, boop. Yeah. So Margo is now going to Lila's house to pretend them to sneak around Lila's house to start to plot this out. Okay.
So she goes to Lila's house and pretends to be Jessica, and this is the morning after she murders James. And so nobody knows yet. And so she goes to Lila's house and she's acting totally normal and like, let's go shopping. Let's blah, blah, blah. And Lila's like, whoa, it's really early. I need to, take a shower and whatever. And so in the meantime, she snoops around Lila's house because she wants to find the perfect spot to murder Elizabeth at the party. Why would you murder her at the party? Let's collect as many witnesses as possible.
Yep.
That's why she needed the right spot. You got a secluded place.
She decides on the spot. She decides the pool house out back of the mansion is where she's going to murder Elizabeth. And then later, after everyone finds out that James was murdered, Lila and their other friend, Amy, are like, wow, that's really weird that Jessica was just acting like nothing happened and wanted to go shopping and whatever when her boyfriend just got murdered. Must be nothing. Grieving's weird.
That's fine. Let's not talk to her parents or her sister or have a conversation at all.
Again, if anyone would have just said anything they were thinking.
Something.
Would have been fine.
Yeah.
Nope.
When we know, because we're reading the book and not in the book, Jessica has been like crying in her room.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
She's been
Brooke
through
cannot catch a break when it comes to dead boyfriends.
Right. There's some shit. Yeah. And she's got no one to go to because her parents, Ned and Alice, went to San Francisco for this mysterious consulting job.
Yep.
And then
They get there and there's
keeps getting
supposed to be a
weirder.
car picking them up from the airport that never shows up. And they're like, well, that was weird. We'll just take a cab to the hotel. They go to the hotel and there's no reservation for them. And Alice is like, I've got a bad feeling. And Ned was like, no, I'm sure it's fine. We'll just get a room at a different hotel.
Right.
And they try to call the house.
Why don't they try to call this lady that called and set this up?
Right. They never contact the place where this mystery consulting job is from.
You just trust this random letter. He does say they talked on the phone, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he says he did.
Yeah.
He talked on the phone with her.
Margo pretended to be.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoiler. It was Margo.
Of course it was Margo. Of
course it was
with
Margo.
the very first time they said, "Oh, he's got this consulting job," and they wouldn't give him any information about it. I was like, "Oh, that's a plot to get him out of town."
Right.
Well, okay, Ned's got a little bit of the blame there too, because at the beginning when they were first talking about this, Alice was even raising some questions, and he said, "No, it's better not to ask. Don't question a good thing."
Damn it, Ned.
Come on.
Hasn't he ever heard it's too good to be true?
Yeah, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
So they call the kids to let them know that they're going to a different hotel because they've left a number for their hotel. And the Margo intercepts the phone call because she's so good at intercepting phone calls.
She just happens to be in there.
Right.
Because she is, I think.
And everyone's home. The brother's home. The girls are home.
Everyone is home.
She just happens to answer the phone and no one else answers the phone or hears it.
Yeah. And she's like, "Hey, Mom and Dad, everything's fine. Don't worry about us." And they give her a number, and she probably doesn't even write it down.
No, she doesn't. She specifically says, and then I held the phone to my chest and counted to 10.
Yes, to make them think she was writing it, looking for a
Getting
pen to write it down.
So sneaky.
And so she says, "Oh, yes, everything's fine." Which I feel like the murder of James would have been on the news.
Yeah.
So I find it a little suspect that. Well, maybe
not.
it was only
It's
on local
4
news.
or 5 hours away.
Yeah, maybe it was only on local news. San Francisco is like, we don't care, Sweet Valley.
Right.
Or they've been on a plane and traveling, so they're not
Yeah.
not watching the news. Sure.
So they go the next day. They go to the law firm for this meeting, for Ned's meeting with the people he's supposed to be consulting with, and they're like, "We don't know who you are. There's nobody here. The person that you were supposed to meet with is not someone that works here. We don't have a meeting with you on our books." And Alice is like, "Okay, the jig is up. Game over. Let's go home." And Ned is like, "No. It's probably just a mistake."
What? Ned.
Let's come back tomorrow and talk to the guy in charge to figure out what happened.
Right. Ned. You moron. Which also, who brings their significant other to a consulting job interview discussion?
Wait, wouldn't she have gone somewhere for the day? Let me check out this museum while you go to your job interview.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If they really thought, no, I better bring my wife.
Yeah.
God, Ned, what kind of lawyer do you think Ned is?
I feel like they said that he's a
consulting.
corporate lawyer.
That would
he's
make
a
sense
lawyer
if he's
for
consulting for a company.
Yeah.
Guess. I feel like it's like a tax attorney or something, and he's trying to do actual law, not to knock on tax attorneys, whatever you do, but he's like, no, I'm gonna go be a criminal attorney, and he has no idea what he's doing, clearly.
Or his whole career is just a team of paralegals carrying him across the finish line.
Now
Now
that's
he's on
probably
his
true.
own, and it's
Took
all
over
a
his
sham.
dad's law firm.
That's it. That's it.
Someone sits next to him the whole time. He's like, just object. Do it. Object. I am. What was the word again?
He's like the lead lawyer on every case, but he just goes to the courtroom and sits while the other lawyer at the table does all the work. We're the junior attorney.
Right.
He's like, yes, I'm teaching them.
It's a generically handsome man.
Right?
Yeah. I think that they do describe him as being very handsome.
Yes, they did. Tall. And
Yeah.
as she watches their Christmas morning from outside, she describes their family in the perfect.
Yes. She does a lot of creeping in the bushes, watching them through the windows.
We hear the dichotomy of how the family actually feels and how it looks from the outside. She's standing outside the window and describes how perfect they are. Well, just a moment before, you were inside each of the family members' heads, hearing how they were actually not happy and it all seemed fake.
Yeah.
Accurate. Also, no one notices this girl just creeping around their house.
They do.
Oh, okay.
They all, but once again, no one says anything.
No one says.
Yeah, everybody's
They
like,
keep
I
seeing-
thought I saw someone outside the window. every single person was like, I thought I saw someone outside the window, but no one says it out loud.
Dude, no way. Some dude came up and like left a flyer in our mailbox the other day, and as soon as Marcus got home, I was like, there was this creeper and he came up on our porch and he did this in the mailbox and the dogs did this. Like, I discuss everyone. Our neighbors were in our backyard the other day because their dog got out and ended up in our backyard, and I was like staring at them, looking at, we don't talk to them, and I immediately told my partner about it. Like, this is what happened. Creepy stuff. But I watch too much Law and Order, and I assume that it's overly paranoid about people breaking into our super safe home.
1993 was pre-Law and Order, or very early Law and Order, maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe no SVU yet.
Yeah. Just a lot of Sam
Which
Waterston.
is the only Law and Order worth watching.
only Law and Order.
Oh, shots fired.
I mean, it's the best, but
It is
Criminal
the best
Intent
one.
was pretty amazing.
Okay. Yeah, he's great.
That's pretty great. That's
Fair.
slightly. Can you get actually off topic on a podcast? Is that a thing?
I think that the whole idea of a podcast is that you are off topic from actual life. So,
And then you create a spin-off podcast about that.
yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, we might get sued on that one.
Anyways, so Ned decides that this is not suspicious and insists that they stay in town, even though Alice is like, let's get out of here.
Right? You know what, Alice, just be more assertive. You're like, we're going home. Fine.
You can
Fine.
stay here, but I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Right?
He has the credit card.
Right. And we will get back into that in just a second after a word from our awesome sponsors, sexyhackersclothing.com. Go to their website, check out all the merch. I need to order a hoodie, actually, from our Who Let Me Read This page. They look really comfy and snuggly.
They're really cute.
Yeah. And I saw some new colors came out recently. Yeah.
Also, if you are enjoying Who Let Me Read This, like and subscribe wherever those live.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere up there.
in the YouTube,
Or
there's like a
down
button.
here.
There's
I
like
don't
a
know.
bell.
Oh, I looked last time. It's there.
It's there?
Wait,
okay,
maybe there.
over there.
Now I can't tell
over
this is
there.
backwards.
Done.
Somewhere.
So, yeah, ring the little bell to subscribe.
Or subscribe on the podcast listening apparatus of your choice. I think there's a pink button if you're on Apple. Otherwise, whatever you use. Like and subscribe so you get all our new episodes.
Awesome. We'll be right back.
sexyhackers.com.
And we're back to Who Let Me Read This. Creeping closer to the end of the evil twin. Things are getting juicy. I mean, they were pretty juicy before, to be fair. But
You start with someone died. There was a car crash and someone died, and oh look, here's a girl who killed a bunch of people, and oh, okay, so it's juicy already.
yeah. Well, and to be fair, these kids really don't ever get a day in their lives where it's just sort of normal. They were okay. So the Sweet Valley High series started when they were how old? So
16.
Okay.
They're 16 at the start of the series.
Sure, great. And then as we're wrapping up the series, they were like, what, college age? Maybe?
The end of so there's Sweet Valley High, Sweet Valley Senior Year, and Sweet Valley University.
Oh,
Sweet Valley High is actually 140 some books. It's 147 books or something like that.
Dang.
And it starts when they're 16. So that's sophomore and junior year. 140 books.
Never get a break. There is always some bonkers shit going on in their day. How do they get an education at all?
They probably don't, let's be real.
Oh, I mean, they end up at a university, but it's the
Sweet
local
Valley University. They're at community college. Which
But they live there.
no disrespect to community college because it's cheaper than going to
A state school, heck yeah.
a private, which is cheaper than going to a private university. So
But there's, they've got big dreams. So when we left off, the Alice and Ned are gone. And there's definitely shenanigans going on, but they're like, it's fine, whatever. And now it's New Year's Eve.
yes, New Year's Eve day. It's the day of Lila Fowler's big New Year's Eve ball. Ooh. Yeah. And Elizabeth and Jessica are both Jessica's boyfriend just got murdered.
Oh,
Elizabeth is still dealing with all of the shenanigans that have happened to her, and also now with Jessica's boyfriend just getting murdered. And so they're both I don't know if I'm gonna go. Like, maybe I just won't go. Mm-hmm. Which is fair.
Take one night off.
Take a night off.
Right.
And Margo sneaks into their house like she does over and over and basically manipulates both of them into, like, she manipulates Jess into agreeing to lend her, Elizabeth, a dress, and then manipulates Elizabeth into deciding to go to the party and to wear this dress that Jessica has lent her.
Right.
I was like, is she just walking between the two rooms? Like, one's in one room and one's in the other. She's like, oh, you look sad. You're not going. You should wear this dress. Then walk to the other side. Can I borrow a dress? Pretending to be each other.
Like, and also, how soundproof are their rooms that neither of them hear this?
Right? Like, who are you talking to? Oh, no one. And it's a dress that's described as a little more risque than what Elizabeth would wear.
Yes.
So it's described as like pretty short and
Like a pink
fitted.
strapless mini dress.
Yeah.
I picture like
I'm
a
picturing
Jennifer
like
Aniston.
a Barbie.
Yep.
Like a dress that a Barbie would be wearing.
Yep. But according to this book cover, that's not it. Check
like
out
a-
this risque 1950s.
It's strapless.
Ooh.
But it's like a strapless 50s kind of new look with the tight bodice and the big skirt.
Yeah.
Which is cute,
But
But it's not early 90s.
but
for
not
sure.
risque and definitely not early 90s. I was picturing like the girls in the Simply Irresistible video.
Totally.
Like the little mini dresses.
yeah.
And maybe the person who drew this picture in 1993 was a teenager in 1960
Yeah.
because that's what it looks like, the hair and the outfit. So they were like, oh, that's risky. Yeah, there's even tinsel on the tree. Not a thing in 93, but definitely 63. So that's a possibility.
By 93, we were like, tinsel is dangerous.
Right. Don't do it.
You want to put tinsel and lit candles on this Christmas tree? I'm sorry,
My
what?
mom saved my grandmother's lead tinsel and she puts it on the tree. So strand by strand.
Oh my God.
Wait, how long does that take?
A long time.
I
It's like a
would be-
week process.
I would be afraid. Yeah, wash your hands. Don't let any children who might put it in their mouths near it.
You know what? That's evolution. That's fine.
So she goes to the mall. So Margo goes to the mall because now she knows what dress Liz is going to be wearing. Part of her complicated plan. She goes to the mall and gets this same dress. And the clerk at the mall is terrible at her job, but I also love her. She like answers a phone call while she's checking Margo out and is like having a conversation.
Right in front
Like,
of her.
oh, hey, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, you still want to get together after work? Like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I saw so-and-so and, like, in the middle of the transaction, which I love. She's like retail employee that is so done, which is
It's most retail employees.
yeah. Especially around the holidays, for sure.
Yeah. Right.
She's
Last
so
minute
done.
shopping for her New Year's Eve dress. Yeah, I really want to help you.
Yeah. So instead of waiting or, being like, hey, can you please finish my order? Margo just takes the dress and runs.
Which is so unlike her because her usual response is just murder.
Right. Yeah. I was surprised that she didn't murder her and steal the dress, that she just stole the dress.
Beat her over the head with the phone.
She's got a big night ahead, though, so she's got to pace herself a little bit.
That's true. Yeah, she has to save up her crazy level. Okay, I'm good.
As she's leaving the mall, like while on the phone, the clerk had described her car and where it was parked.
For some reason.
Convenient. And so Margo also slashes her tires.
Dang.
Which this has come up in other books. Like, I feel like in the 90s, people who were writing books in the 90s had never slashed a tire and thought it was really easy.
Yep.
They thought you just like snick snack, slashed.
Yep. Like the whole concept of tires is that it holds a really heavy fucking thing. They're not like thin piece. It's not like a balloon. Like pop. Slashing tires is really hard, and I forget.
Don't
who
say,
said
Laura.
that.
And you
Yes.
like you've seen a tire off of a car, like they're thick. It's not something that you just like a boop pop through.
Right.
Now, pouring sugar in the gas tank, that's another story.
Much easier.
That's way easier.
Not anymore because they lock from the inside. But in 93,
I don't know. So
Yeah,
so she
so-
slashes the clerk's tires, and then we flash over to the jail.
Yes, Josh is still in jail for being framed for killing James. And he just beats up the guard and breaks out.
That's because
It's
that's
cool.
how jail works.
Right. You're speaking of things that are harder than they look.
Yeah.
This is my out of the whole thing. I'm like, it's just too much.
Because there's only, well, all right, so it's Sweet Valley, so not much goes wrong. Well, actually, things go wrong constantly. They should have a huge police force. But there's one guard, and Josh beats him up, and suddenly he can just, like, stroll right out.
Because he takes the uniform.
Sure.
Yeah, he steals the prison guard's uniform and his shoes, which are far too big. Like, why wouldn't you just keep your regular shoes on? Dude?
Right. But apparently everyone in this town is all exactly the same size that they can
Yeah.
just borrow each other's clothing, and it all fits perfectly. Sure, that's fine.
Yeah. So he breaks out. He's like, I'm going to stop Margo and I'm going to save the Wakefield twins. Because they
Yeah.
inspire that in people. Everyone is just like, I have to make sure they're safe.
Yeah. We love and treasure them.
In the meantime, Liz is taking a nap, doing a little disco nap before she goes out, which I wholeheartedly approve of.
Yep.
And she dreams about the jungle prom. And she remembers via the dream that it was Jessica who spiked her punch.
Dum, dum, dum.
So she realizes like Jessica's part in all of the things that have happened in this miniseries so far. And at the same time, Jessica is resolving to like, I am going to tell Liz at the before the party, at the party, before midnight.
Before midnight.
Yeah, she decides
That's a
I'm
good
going to do
plan.
this before midnight and like hopefully can start repairing our relationship. So Todd and Liz go to the party together. Jessica goes by herself. It's storming because Margo brought the thunder
Soulless eyes.
with her soulless eyes. And Steven and his girlfriends don't go to the party. They stay home and make out on the couch. Which I think, Hannah, did you had a line from that.
Would you like me to share that?
I would love that.
So Stephen and Billy making out on the couch, their mouths melted together in another kiss as hot as a forest fire.
Which, considering the state of the world right now,
Oh, and
is a little...
right? No.
Right. But I mean, that was the moment for me when I was like, "Oh, that's right. Actually, this was not. This isn't even a series meant for high schoolers. It's a series meant for middle school girls, and
who are like looking forward to high school.
right,
Yeah.
right. So like, oh man, a kiss as hot as a forest fire.
Yeah.
Pretty sexy stuff.
Right? And there's not really a whole lot of other sexy stuff mentioned other than Margo being a little more aggressive than Elizabeth is towards Todd. And even that's really non-specific.
Doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I was like, let's talk bases here, at least.
Well, and there's a kind of through line through a lot of the books of like being sexually there are consequences for being sexually aggressive. Always.
Right.
And I think like we definitely see that with Margo, but somehow Steven is exempt.
Yeah, because he's a boy.
Yeah. He gets to have all the sexy times.
Well,
He's also in college. Yeah.
Yep. That's part of it, but yep, any of the women.
Because even like Jessica
Fast
is definitely portrayed as more sexual and more aggressive, I guess, assertive, flirtatious. She goes through men, but it's still always very chaste. She is not. She is not having sex with any of these men.
Nope.
She's just getting her makeout on,
All right, girl.
which I respect.
Right?
But yeah, like even the naughty twin is still very like
Yes.
chaste,
Like, all right, fine.
which the 90s
Yeah.
and
So-
probably still now. Let's be honest.
To be fair. So then as they're at the party, Ned and Alice are in San Francisco, and they finally decide to go home. They're like, you know what? Something's up. We should probably actually
After they
go
go
home.
back to the place and the guy's like, we've never heard of you. Someone
Yeah.
made this up.
Yeah.
That's not a letter from us.
Right?
He's like,
at
that's
all.
not even our letterhead. Like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. You got punked. And
And you could have learned this yesterday when our other employee told you no one by that name works here.
Right.
You did not need to waste my time talking to me.
yeah. So they decide to go home, and literally everything goes wrong.
Everything.
Like their plane gets canceled, and then the backup plane gets canceled, and then they decide to take the train, and they get on the Amtrak, and the train is like, just kidding, it's too foggy and stormy, and we can't go. Like, we have to stop for the night. And so then they rent a car, and the car gets a flat tire, and it's storming and raining, and literally
It's like Home
everything
Alone
goes
2.
wrong.
oh yeah.
Where she has to
Like
come
trying to
back
get
with the band.
Oh yeah. Yep, right back with the polka band. Mm-hmm. But I wish Margo could claim credit for that. Of like,
Yeah.
I did all these. No,
I thwarted all of their attempts.
no, just dumb luck.
Yeah, if she hadn't been
Just
so
weather.
lucky, they would have been back 2 days ago, and
Like
Your
it'd have
plan
been
would have
fine. But
maybe not though.
right, because there's no way they would have gotten back because last minute air travel on New Year's Eve. No,
Yeah.
it's a holiday. There's no extra flights. There's no like, oh, this last minute train. That shit's booked and it's expensive. And
But they're
limited.
rich, so they like there is no like, oh, we can't do this because it's too expensive. There
That's
is
true.
none of that. They're like, oh, book a different hotel for a hotel stay that I wasn't expecting to do. If I went somewhere and I was expecting there to be a hotel room for me and there wasn't one, I would be like, oh crap, what am I going to do? I can't afford to get a hotel in downtown San Francisco.
Right? And even what did we say? 1993 San Francisco?
Yeah.
Sure, which is different than, 2019 San Francisco. For fuck's sake, you're not that great of a city. Lower your rent. It's I said it. It's ridiculous. But
I Heart San Francisco starts leaving us like mean comments on YouTube.
why don't you hurt us?
Sorry, San Francisco.
Because you're tiny and lame and your hills are slanted. Level out your city.
It's fine. They'll be underwater in a few years anyway. Ooh, global warming. Anyway,
But
sorry, different
bit.
podcast.
and they do try to call home to say to the kids, like, they want to tell them, hey, we're on our way. But the phone lines have been cut.
and they're like, oh, it must be the storm.
Lightning.
When they get through, but it says this number is out of service, and they're like, oh, it must be the storm. That's not how that works.
Oh, well.
Like, you might not get through if there's like a storm and the power is out or whatever, but you wouldn't get a message that says this number is out of service.
Power doesn't affect landlines.
Right.
It's not about the power.
Yeah.
Phone lines usually don't go down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like your connection might not be great because of the weather, but it's not going to just like if your phone line has been cut. Actually, if your phone line has been cut, they probably wouldn't get a message.
it's just like a dead.
It would just be dead. It would, yeah.
Any of those.
But anyway.
Any of these things that could have been fixed by having cell phones. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Awesome. Oh, my goodness. So now they're stranded. They can't reach the kids. They're at the New Year's Eve party. And that's where we leave for this week. So there were some giant moments in this that, like, I think we hit a couple of big ol' what the fucks as we were reading through these. But Sarah, do you wanna kick this one off?
I'm just gonna take us back to the moment where Margo steals the dress.
Oh my gosh.
Because she has blatantly masqueraded as Jessica. Like, the store clerk knows her. She comes in there all the time. So I just want to know what's going to happen next time Jessica comes into the store and the clerk is like, hey, remember when you super shoplifted right in front of me?
Right? Rude. And then slashed my tires.
And then slashed my tires.
Girl. Oh man. There's a couple of other great ones. Oh gosh. Let's see. I'm really big on the dress one as well, because this whole plan could have been foiled if Elizabeth decides to wear a different dress at any point. This all hinges on Elizabeth deciding to wear the thing that she said she was going to wear. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I know. What about you, Hannah? Big moments?
Well, Steve and Billy's makeout session was probably one of my favorite, funniest moments of the book. And Laura, you seem to think that Billy was maybe not so into it, though?
Yes, because Billy stops in the middle of their makeout session to pause the movie and put on the news. She's
She's like, we're not watching it anyway. Let's just pause it, which I'm sorry. who has done that ever in the history of mankind?
I've
had DVDs that played twice because like we were rolled over onto the remote.
Right?
Like
that's the sign of a good makeout session.
Who says, "Oh, let's stop having some background noise"?
Right?
I want to only hear our smooching noises.
Billy's like, what can I say to get out of this? Oh God.
Yep. It's because
But also she's like, we're not watching this movie, so let's put it on the news.
right.
Because that's some sexy background noise.
Right? Like if you think the movie's distracting, there's some like whatever going on in the background. You're watching like a super gross horror film, you don't want to listen to that. You just hit off. Done.
Yeah.
You turn that away. You're not like, let's just put on the news. Gross.
Also, if you're watching a super gross horror movie, do you really want to replace it with the news?
Right.
Like the news is already super gross horror
movie.
Depends how bad the makeout was.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe Steven thinks that it's as hot as the forest fire, but Billy was like, well, it's getting pretty late. I should got to get this movie back to Blockbuster if we're not going to watch it. I don't know. Crazy.
This was a new release. I feel like we should really watch it. I paid $4.95 for this.
That's fair. I don't know. Michelle, what about you?
I just loved, and this is right where our section here ends for the day, how dramatic it got as Margo got into her car and like her plan was coming together. She's like, I have them exactly where I want them. They're mine, all mine. The phones are cut. No one can call in and no one can call out. And then the radio comes on, escaped convict. And she says, he's out and he's coming after me. No. It's just so extreme dramatic. I was cracking up.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, he's going to get recaptured. It doesn't matter. I bet everybody in Sweet Valley locks their doors tonight. Too bad they don't know who the real enemy is.
Dum, dum, dum.
She's so confident. Like, I do admire her confidence.
I was cracking up as I was like, this is...
Hi, girl. I wish I had the confidence of Margo sometimes. No, it's
Or
going
of
to be
Ned
great.
Wakefield. I'm sure it's fine.
It'll be fine.
He is not suffering from anxiety.
Yeah,
The only person in Sweet Valley.
who's not? Nope.
He still needs a therapist, though.
A little bit. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So we are going to wrap things up for this week here and then join us next week for the conclusion of The Evil Twin and Margo's amazing freaking plan. I bet this is all going to work out fine.
Totally. I bet her plan goes exactly as she intended.
Yep. She's going to murder Elizabeth and take over her life and it'll be fine. It almost would be better if she did. Oh, hot take. Hot take.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube, there's a button somewhere.
Down.
There's a pink button if you're on
that one.
Apple, iTunes.
Yep. Spotify. Boop, boop.
Spotify. There's
Stitcher.
a thing.
All of
Stitcher.
those. Rate, review. Leave comments and feedback, good or bad. I want to hear from you. That'll be funny.
Maybe we'll read your comments on the air.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. Our hot
Maybe
takes on
we
San
won't.
Francisco.
I mean, depends what you say.
Probably not. We'll see. Awesome. And thank you so much to Sexy Hackers Clothing for this wicked awesome space to talk about our nonsense in. And thank you to Sarah and Hannah and Michelle. And I'm Laura. And we will see you guys all next Wednesday for the conclusion.
SexyHackers.com! Stream Team!